So I, among many others, have criticised some of the big strategy calls made by F1 teams this year. Not naming any names, but Ferrari. However, maybe this is really harder than it looks. Well, I guess it's time I found out. The guys over at Frontier Devs were kind enough to give me early access to their new F1 Manager 22 game, where you can take on the role of any team principal and take your team to the front of the grid or straight into the ground. I mean, you do you. Now, I should start this video by saying this is early access footage of the game, and thus any bugs you see should be ironed out by the time it releases on the 25th of August. And also, I'm not being paid, and all my opinions in this video are my own. Okay, cool, now I can't be sued, let's get into this. Oh, and big announcement at the end, so make sure you stay tuned for that. So upon opening the game and starting a new career, I got to pick which team I wanted to ruin, take to championship glory.
Ferrari are very much in it to win it, with strong leadership over the 2022 season and beyond.
And let's be honest, if you've been a fan of the channel for any length of time, you know there's only one real option here.
Bunch of wanko.
Having named my character appropriately, I was pretty much ready to start managing the Haas Formula 1 team. And my first order of business would be replacing the heathen that took our boy off the grid in pre-season. Since Mazepin sadly isn't in the game, points off to Frontier on that one, I had to look elsewhere. And having realised signing a racist might be a little bit too spicy even for me, there was only one realistic option. Oh, I know. Fantastic. Contract length, 1 season, fine. Salary, I think, we need to give the GOAT the money he deserves, right? The game is frozen a little bit because it doesn't want me to pay Latifi this much money. Can we put Latifi on like a £20 million contract and make him one of the highest paying earners on the grid? Let's just offer that. It'd be funny if we can get this. Alright, I'm glad he accepted that. Higher. We only lose 6 million. Yes! Having signed the GOAT for a whopping $20 million, I still can't get over that one. The next thing to do was to start upgrading our Haas car. I set to work designing a new front wing, which would eventually be given to Latifi. Because I'm not a f***ing idiot. Despite having minimal funds at this stage, I fancied a new factory upgrade. Now, let's be honest, we never use a tour centre and have absolutely no need for a memorabilia room. But I guess a helipad for me couldn't hurt, right? With that work commissioned and Mick Schumacher already in high spirits, I just had one thing left before we could head to Bahrain for the first race of the year. Check in on the board and see if they like me or not. They want me to be a podium contender with Latifi and Schumacher. Sure. Hang on a second. Where have those trophies come from? Come on. Having taken that super seriously, it was time to fly everything out to Bahrain. I guaranteed the sponsors that I'd reach Q2, and though I didn't believe that fully myself, we could really do with some extra cash after parting with 20 mil for Latifi. P15 and 19 and FP3 didn't fill me with a whole lot of hope, however, though we pushed on into Q1 regardless. And can we just for a second appreciate how good this game looks? Again, I promise I'm not being paid to say that. I was trying to focus on the game's beauty since out on track, things weren't going well. Mick was held up by Gasly on his lap, and we had Nicholas Latifi in the other car. That said, it would be the GOAT who was faster in the first runs, as we could briefly appreciate a Haas 1-2 at the top of the order. By the time everyone had set a lap, that had become P14 and 15 though, and I wanted to try and get my cars out ahead of the pack as Q1 came to a close, which went well. Get a move on, where are you going? Come on. Everyone's passing you. Move. So it turns out, just like in real life F1, the cars actually have to have some sort of notice before being sent out to the track, meaning now we were at the back of the queue. But at least we can still get some laps in. Ricciardo and Schumacher would make big improvements, but Latifi would instead be Latifi and find himself knocked out in Q1. I'm starting to think giving him 20 mil might not have been the best idea. Mick's first Q2 run filled me with a little bit of hope, which was then dashed by the end of the session. Come on, Mick. Somewhere that's not 15th. You can do it. No, you can't. Never mind. It was P15 and 16 on the grid for Sunday then. But before the race, I had strategy to work out. Just go onto the wet tyre halfway through the race. Sure. Glad to see I'm taking my role seriously. Eventually, I settled with a soft medium run, which, as you'll soon see, went no way according to plan whatsoever. You're useless. Anyway, none of that matters, because it's time for the race.
And away we go.
Come on. Mick got away well, but Latifi not so much, momentarily dropping behind Magnussen, but managing to repass the Dane into turn 1. The game, so shocked that the Canadian was able to do this, thought a replay was in order. I mean, he was behind Magnussen, but sure.
Back in the garage, the team absolutely loved it.
He lost a position on the start. What? Now, we shouldn't rip into the Haas team too much. They had an awful 2021 after all. That said, they really did like to celebrate, such as when Verstappen went wide from pole into turn 4. Okay, right, I mean,
Just focus on the hat.
this overtake is a little bit... Cool, you know what, I'll take it.
Advantage and muscle their way through. Excellent work.
Okay.
The driver's team there cheering them on.
Now ahead of a Red Bull, the plan was to see if we could take the fight to the McLarens. And when I told Schumacher to push, he actually became competent. No, oh, there we go. Yeah, that's it, Mick, alright. I was going to look around the outside, though.
Safe there.
Mick's a beast. Fairs, okay, cool. He's not going to go for the AlphaTauri as well, no way. He is. Okay. Sure.
Good job.
I mean, cool, fine. Further up the grid, things weren't going so well, and I just want to say hats off to Frontier on this one. Ferrari, who were running highly with Verstappen now out of the picture, have been coded to absolute utter perfection. Please, oh.
Clearly see the contact there, and that caused a lot of damage.
Oh, Ferrari. Ferrari, honestly. All the drama wasn't over though, as I was soon about to find out. VSC. Ooh. Ooh! What's happened here? Oh my god. Oh, he's just run wide. Oh no. Right, and Ocon's just been like, yeah, nah, I'm not having that. When the Alpha got going again, I opted to pit both cars under VSC, planning to do 2 hard stints to finish the race, which would have worked brilliantly had I known how to count. That strategy gamble didn't pay off so much, but did keep us within touching distance of the points. Well, one of us. Latifi, on the other hand, not so much. Oh, yeah,
I don't know, the grip is just all over the place.
oh, Latifi.
Right on the edge.
Latifi. What have you done?
Yes, I'm fine.
What have you done? No!
What a spin out.
No! Oh, Nicholas, man. Come on. Well, that is what happens when you sign the boy, but it's fine. I trust him. And now Lando's going to get Mick now, isn't he? No. Alright, fair play. Go on, Mick. Lando would actually have a great fight with Mick, and we were catching up to Alonso as well. Points were in sight, until we got a second VSC and I realised my strategy blunder. We haven't got another set of hard tyres. Oh no. We had to stay out to make the hards last as long as possible then. And as the stint went on, I got more and more confident. Well, maybe too confident. Alright, well I think we're safe from Ricciardo now, and we are catching back up to Nando, which is big. Points are not completely off the table here. Oh, never mind. I'm an idiot. Oh, why did I say that? Mick recovered behind Ricciardo in 13th, so still had a chance to fight back. Maybe. He was able to claw his way back past Danny, but now had a 7-second gap to make up if he wanted to be in the battle for 10th. But as the tyres died, the McLaren was able to repass him for 12th. And then this happened. Oh, no, 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 no. I decided to pit both cars to prevent any further issues, where we saw Lance Stroll take the appropriate action in order to avoid racing Nicholas Latifi. Nicky was actually on a bit of a roll. He might have been miles off the pace and miles off the lead, but still had passed the 4-time world champion. GOAT status reacquired.
I made a mistake.
Oh, what have you done now, Nicholas, man?
Copy, mate.
Oh, for God. How have you done...
That's the lockup.
You're useless. Actually, never mind. I'll be honest, at this stage, I had no idea where anyone was strategy-wise, but somehow we were back battling with Ricciardo in the closing stages for 14th, and it was all going well until... Oh, come on, there's so many opportunities here, and now the Alpines... Oh, here we go. Come on, jump the inside. No! No, Mick! Mick!
Okay, good.
Mick!
Yeah.
Ricciardo was forced to pit, but we stayed out with a damaged car, and now a 5-second penalty to contend with. Initially, I thought all would work out fine. Zhou was a good 9 seconds back with 4 laps to go. But then you remember it's Mick Schumacher driving, and he'd have to settle for P14, while Latifi trundled round in butt nowhere until the checkered flag. In fairness, we'd at least managed to meet our sponsorship objectives, though for some reason the board still weren't happy with me. No clue why on that one. But that's a taste of what F1 Manager 22 has to offer, and a big thank you again to Frontier for giving me early access to try it out. The career mode is by no means over though, so I'll be continuing it over on my Twitch channel as of later today. The links to that are all down in the description, so be sure to check it out and drop me a follow if you haven't already. And while you're at it, if you enjoyed the video and want more, why not subscribe? It's free and makes me very happy. Anyway, a final thank you to all my patrons for making all this possible. And if you want to help out in that regard, the link to that, along with all my other socials, can be found again down in the description below. That's all from me though. I'll see you soon with another video, but until then, have a good one.